So I'll be sharing my screen now. Can you see the screen? So where did we stop last class? Take your notebook and see where did we stop. Anyone please respond? What was the last section that we had taken? I think we had completed what an equivalence relation is, isn't it? What is an equivalence relation? What is an equivalence relation? Anyone please respond? Nobody had written it down? So until where did we stop in that section? Hello? Do you know what an equivalence relation is? What is an equivalence relation, Akash? What is an equivalence relation? What are the properties that should be satisfied for an equivalence relation? I said based on properties, we can classify relations into mainly two kinds, isn't it? There are yes, these are equivalence relation. If it satisfies reflexive, symmetric, and transitive property, then we call it as an equivalence relation, isn't it? Did we do an example on it? See, look at this. Did we do this example? Was this done? Or did we do any other example like let A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4? Hello? So let me go through it once again. So, one minute. So here A is equal to 1, 2, and a given relation R is equal to 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, and 2, 1. Now, just check if it is an equivalence relation. Let me see who will do the answer. Just check. Check if it is an equivalence relation. I'll be calling out their names. You have to give me the answer. Did you get the answer? Can we call it as an equivalence relation? See why there is no response from your side and only 45 students, only 44 have joined. Please tell others to join first. I'll be taking attendance soon. Where are the others? Please tell others to join first. I'm going to take attendance soon. So we are just checking if this is an equivalence relation. See, you have A is equal to 1, 2, and a given relation R is defined on A. And just let us check if it is an equivalence. For it to be an equivalence relation, then it should satisfy the three properties, that is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive property. Now, looking at the reflexive property, we find that for reflexive property states that every element in A should be related to itself, and that ordered pair should be in R for all elements of A. So let me see whether 1 1 is there. So in R we have 1 1 and 2 2. So both the ordered pairs are there. So if both ordered pairs are there for all elements of A, then we say that it is reflexive. So 1 1 is an element of R and 2 2 is also an element of R. Therefore, we say that it is reflexive. Next, we have to check the next property, that is symmetric. Multiple one year is internal submit ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത് ഒരു മിനിറ്റ്. 1 minute, please. Hello. So, So it is reflexive, and I think I'm repeating the same thing again and again. Next, let us see whether it is transitive. Akash, is it transitive? Is it transitive? Why do you say it is transitive? Because transitive property says that. What is transitive property? If AB is there, then BA should be there, isn't it? If AB is present, then BA should be present. 1, 1, 2, 2, since they are equal, they will be present. So let us see if the third ordered pair, if 1, 2 is there, then 2, 1 should be there. So 2, 1 is there. So we can say that it is symmetric. The next is transitive property. Transitive property says that if AB is related, A is related to B and B is related to C, then A is related to C. So here we have 1, 2, and 1 is related to 2 is related to 1. So 1 should be related to 1, and that ordered pair is also there. So it also satisfies transitive property. So since all the three properties are satisfied, then we say that this relation R, which is given, is an equivalence relation. So next, let us move on to the next part. With this in mind, now we are going to check if given two relations R and S. Now this is the next example. You can write down this example. Please write down this example, this question 2. If R and S are equivalence relations, then show that R intersection S and R union S are equivalent relation. Okay, if R and S are equivalence relations, then R intersection S and R union S are equivalence relations. So this is a university question, very important question. This is a university question, and it was asked last. It was the question is to prove R union S is equivalent. If R and S are equivalence relation, prove that R union S is an equivalence relation. Maybe they can change it to R intersection S also. Anyway, you have to study both. If R and S are equivalence relation, then R intersection S and R union S are both equivalence relation. This is a theorem. Okay. If R and S are equal, if given two relations R and S, if both the relations R and S are equivalent, then R intersection S and also R union S are equivalence relations. So let us see how it is. Now you will be asked to prove it. Let us see how we can prove it. So hope you had written down the question. Now, let us first prove R intersection S. Okay, to prove R intersection S. Now, to prove R intersection S, you are given two relations R and S. It is given that it is equivalent. Okay, these two relations are equivalence relations. So, if AA is an element of R, okay, and AA is an element of S, then this element will be there in R intersection S also, isn't it? If we have element A, if we have an ordered pair AA, and the same ordered pair AA is there in S also, then it will be there in R intersection S also, so it is reflexive, isn't it? If A is related to A, then it is given that R is equivalent and S is also an equivalence relation. So each element in R will be related to itself. Each element in A will also be related to itself. And suppose we have two elements common in both R and S, then we say that each of these elements will be related to itself as per reflexive property. So these elements will be the ordered pair A will be there in R intersection S, and proving that it is reflexive. So so for the first property is satisfied. Now let us move on to the next property. That is the next we have to prove R intersection S is symmetric. Okay. So symmetric property says that if AB is an element of R. Okay, so for intersection property to be proved, then same ordered pairs should be there in both R and S. So if AB is an element of R and AB is an element of S, that is only if they come under the intersection, then we can prove that this intersection is symmetric. So we assume that AB is an element of R and also AB is an element of S. So AB is an element of R intersection S also. If they are there in both, then we can say that AB is an element of R intersection S. Now, since we say that R satisfies R and S are equivalence relation given in the question, if AB is an element of R, BA will be an element of R. If AB is an element of S, then BA will also be an element of S. Therefore, BA will be there in R intersection S also. Okay, the question in the question itself, it is given that R and S are equivalence relations. So if R and S are equivalence relations, then if AB is present, BA will also be present. So if that is what we are assuming, if AB is an element of R intersection S, then BA is also an element of R. Since AB is present in R, BA is also present in R because R is an equivalence relation. So if AB is present in S, BA will also be present in S, proving that BA is present in R intersection S, and thus R intersection S is symmetric. Then the third property is we have to prove that it is transitive. So for it to be transitive, we know that R and S are equivalence relation, so they satisfy transitive property. So now let us see that if AB is an element of R, okay, AB is an element of R and BC is also an element of R, then it implies that AC is also an element of R, since given that R is equivalence relation. It is given in the question itself that R is an equivalence relation. So if R is an equivalence relation, then if AB is an element of R and BC is an element of R, AC will also be an element of R. Likewise, if for the intersection property to be satisfied, if element AB is there, it should be there in S also. So if AB is an element of S and BC is an element of S, then AC is also an element of, it implies that AC is an element of S. So we find that AB is an element of R intersection S and BC is an element of R intersection S, then it implies AC is also an element of R intersection S. Thus, it is transitive. So, R intersection S is an equivalence relation since we proved all the three properties for R intersection S. So, this is a very important question. You have to study the question well. Okay. Is it clear? Is it clear? Hello? We are given two relations and it is given that they are equivalent. If they are equivalent, then all the three properties will be satisfied individually by those relations. And we are assuming that there are ordered pairs common to both. Only if they are common, then we get R intersection S. And if we get R intersection S, then we have to prove that R intersection S is also equivalent. So that is a property. If you have two relations R and S which are equivalent, then the intersection will also be equivalent. If any element is present in the intersection set, then it will also be equivalent. Then, likewise, using the same method, we can prove R union S also. We had proved R intersection S. Next, we have to prove that R union S is also an equivalence relation. That is, given R and S to be equivalence relations. See, given that R is equivalent, in the question it's given R is equivalent, S is also equivalent. And to prove that, next we have to prove that R union S is an equivalence relation. So likewise, in our intersection S also, we assume that if AA is an element of R, since R satisfies R is an equivalence relation, it satisfies reflexive property. So reflexive property says that each element is related to itself. So if AA is an element of R and AA is an element of S, because for union, we are considering the same elements. If they are present in both the sets, then it implies that AA is also an element of R union S. Therefore, it is reflexive. So next, we have to go to prove the next property, that is symmetric property. That is, if AB is an element of R or if AB is an element of S, then AB is also an element of R union S. Okay. So if AB is present in R, then BA will be present in R, or BA will be present in S, which means that BA is also an element of R union S, and that satisfies symmetric property. Next, coming on to the third property, transitive property. If AB is an element of R union S and BC is also an element of R union S, it implies that AC is element of R union S, because since R and S are equivalence relation, the third property is satisfied individually by the relation. Therefore, R union S is also a transitive relation. So we can say that R union S, since all the three properties are satisfied, we say that R union S is an equivalence relation. So that is an important question. If two relations R and S are equivalent, then their union and intersection will also be equivalence relations. Is it clear? Is it clear? So you have to keep in mind that property. If two relations R and S are equivalent, then their intersection S and R union S are also equivalence relations. Now next, another question another possible question is, these are all proving questions. You have to prove that it is equivalent. So you are given a relation R is equivalence relation. You have to show that R inverse is also an equivalence relation. We had studied in the first class when I started relations. What is R? What is R inverse? And what is complement of R, etc. we had studied. So what is R inverse? How will you get R inverse? What is R inverse? You are given a relation R. What is R inverse? How will you find R inverse? You had written the example for it. What is R inverse? How will you find R inverse? You are given a relation R is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, what is R inverse? What is R inverse? Given R is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, what is R inverse? How will you find R inverse? Forgot? It will be there in your book. How will you find R inverse? Hello? How do you find R inverse? Anurag, Ashwin, Akash. I'm getting responses from only 3%. 2, 1, 4, 3, 6, 5. Very good. Just reverse the ordered pairs, you get R inverse. Okay. Just reversing the ordered pairs, you will get R inverse. That is 2, 1, 4, 3, 6, 5. Very good. So this is R inverse. So the question says that if R is an equivalence relation, if R is an equivalence relation, you have to prove that R inverse is also an equivalence relation. You have to prove this. If R is an equivalence relation, R inverse is also an equivalence relation. So that is what is given here. Given that R is an equivalence relation, that is R is, if it is an equivalence relation, then it satisfies reflexive, symmetric and transitive property, isn't it? If R is an equivalence relation, then it will satisfy reflexive, symmetric and transitive property. Then we have to show that R inverse, see R inverse, the set builder notation is like this. You are just reversing the ordered pair. BA, if AB is an element of R, then R inverse contains all ordered pairs in the form of BA. If AB is an element of R, then R inverse contains all the ordered pairs in reverse form, that is BA. So now we have to prove that this R inverse is equivalence. To prove that it is an equivalence relation, we have to prove that R inverse satisfies reflexive, symmetric, and transitive properties. So let us see how it satisfies reflexive property. So since it is an equivalence relation, when you reverse the ordered pair AA, you will get AA itself, isn't it? When you reverse the ordered pair, so reflexive property says that each element is related to itself. If AA is present in the set, then we say that when you take the reverse, it will form AA only. So if if it is reflexive, then all elements will be there. So where we can take the reverse and we find that the reverse is also the same ordered pair. So R inverse is reflexive, isn't it? If AA is an element of R, it implies that AA is an element of R inverse also, because when you change the ordered pair, there is no difference in the ordered pair, isn't it? Did you understand that? It is reflexive. Did you understand that property? Hello? Did you understand that property? If AA is an element of R, then we are changing the or reverse. Even if you reverse it, we get the same order. So it is also an element of R inverse. Isn't it? Hello? Why no response from your side? These are important questions, okay? Okay. So, next let us see whether it is symmetric. We have to prove that R inverse is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Only then we can say that it is an equivalence relation. So, let us check if it is symmetric. So, if AB is an element of R, then it implies that BA should be present. BA is also an element of R. Since symmetric, we say that given that R is symmetric, if AB is an element of R, BA is also an element of R. So if AB is an element of R, BA is there in R inverse. If BA is an element of R, then AB is present in R inverse. So even if we take the reverse, it will be present in R inverse. Taking and reverse is what is there in R inverse. So if AB is there, then BA will be there in R inverse. If BA is present, then AB will also be there in R inverse. So these two elements will be present in R. So when we take their inverse, BA will be present in R inverse, and corresponding to this element, AB will be present in R inverse. So corresponding to BA, there will be AB present in R inverse. So R inverse is symmetric. Okay, these two elements will be present in R anyway, since because R is symmetric. So if these two elements are present, when we take their inverse, the reverse elements will also be present in R inverse. So if BA is present, AB will be present in R inverse. So we can say that R inverse is symmetric. Okay. If AB is present, then BA will be present in R. So if AB is present in R, BA will be present in R inverse. Since this element is also present in R, its inverse will also be there in R inverse. So if BA is present, AB will be present in R inverse, showing that R inverse is symmetric. Then let us look at the third property, transitive property. So, if AB is an element of R and BC is also an element of R, it implies AC is an element of R. Okay. So, if AB is an element of R, BA will be present in R inverse. And if BC is an element of R, CA will be present, CB will be present in R inverse, which implies that CA will be an element of R inverse. Okay, just take the reverse of this. CA will be present. This will be an element of R inverse. So we say that R inverse is transitive. So you have to study all these properties and show that R inverse is also an equivalence relation. So these are the two properties or two theorems that you have to study. First one was, what was the first one? Related to equivalence relation, we had studied two proofs. What were the two proofs? Related to equivalence relations, we had studied two proofs. What were the two proofs? What were the two proofs that we had studied related to equivalence relation? No here. So what were the two theorems? Type in the chat box. Clear in that? So what were the two theorems? Related to equivalence relation, we had studied two theorems. I had uploaded the notes in Linways. Go to the take those notes and write it down in your notebook. Every day, the portions that we cover daily, you should write it down in your notebook. Okay. So we had now covered till equivalence relations and the questions related to equivalence relation. You have to write it down in your notebook. I had uploaded the notes. Look at the notes and write it down if you are not able to write it down during this time. Okay. So what are the two theorems that we had proved related to equivalence relation? See, these are the questions, the theorem questions that will be asked for university exam. Just study those questions, okay? So first one was, we said that, what we said, the first theorem, if R and S are equivalence relation, if R and S are equivalence relations, then R union S and R intersection S are also equivalence relations. Okay, I've given the proof in notebook. So this is the first point we had studied, first property we had studied related to equivalence relation. If R and S are equivalence relation, then R union S and R intersection S are also equivalence relations. Then next, second one. What was the second one? Yes. Second is inverse, related to inverse. That is, if R is an equivalence relation, if R is an equivalence relation, if R is an equivalence relation, then R inverse is also an equivalence relation. Okay, if R is an equivalence relation, then R inverse is also an equivalence relation. And the two proofs are given in the notebook, you have to study it. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? Now write down the next question. You have to try it out. Okay. You have to try it out. If you don't get the answer, then we will solve it in class. Write down the next question as a homework. Let A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Let A is equal to this set 1 to 12. Then on this set, define the relation R on this set. Define the relation R by xy element of R if and only if and only if x minus y is a multiple of x minus y is a multiple of 5. Okay, I've defined a relation R on this set A, and the relation states that if we take two elements in set A, their difference should be a multiple of 5. Okay, verify that R is an equivalence relation. Verify that R is an equivalence relation. Verify that R is an equivalence relation. Is it clear? So this is the question. Did you get the question? Did you write down the question? Hello? Did you write down the question? Okay, Typhoon. Okay, Anurag. So did you understand the question first of all? What does that question say? What does that question say? Did you understand that question? See, I've given you a set A, and A contains elements from 1 to 12, isn't it? And on this set, we have defined the relation R, and R will have the ordered pairs XY, which is an XY is an element of R if and only if you take the difference of the two elements, it should be a multiple of 5. That is, if we take 6 and 1, you get the difference will be 6 minus 1, which is equal to 5. It is a multiple of 5. If we take 7 and 2, you get difference is 7 minus 2, isn't it? 7 minus 2, which is equal to 5. Again, it's a multiple of 5. If you take 10 and 11 and 1, okay, if you take 11 and 1, again the difference 11 minus 1 is equal to 10. It is a multiple of 5. Likewise, you have to find out the ordered pairs in the set A, which is a multiple of 5, and verify that it is an equivalence, and the order you will get a set of ordered pairs like 6 1 7 2 11 1 etc., and you have to prove that it is an equivalence. The set of ordered pairs which you had found out is an equivalence relation. Is it clear? Is the question clear to you? So the relation, you have to find out, you look at what relation is given and find out the elements in the set A which satisfies the relation, and those elements will form ordered pairs in that relation. And after getting the ordered pairs, you have to check if it is an equivalence relation. That is whether it satisfies, the relation that you have got satisfies reflexive, symmetric and transitive property. Is it clear? So just go for 10 minutes break. Come back at 9:40. I'll be continuing the class. Okay. Second period also will be handled by myself. So you just take a break. Come back at 9:40. I'll be taking attendance at 9:40. Okay.